That's why I did that one piece to show what this was not my idea. Somebody came up with that, the way to remake up the government, how many more representatives and give some more senators here and cut the little thing down so that one person isn't representing a whole bunch of people that he never even knows. And he says he represents his constituency, and his constituency, depending on where he's from, not even 30 or 40% of them are actually placing him in there. But he doesn't matter who puts him in that spot. His responsibility is for all the people of that district, not just the ones that placed him there, but the ones that placed him there and then gave him the money are the ones that get the ear and place the motion to him. Because he can't get out and spread out to truly represent or get the feeling of what the people want. Because half the time the people don't know what they want or don't know what the heck's going on. And that's why we can get to this two-party system where can't nobody change. Can't nobody, if a Republican vote for something that a Democrat voted for, they're going to chastise them at the next primary, because at the primary level, you get a smaller group, and the ones that come out during the primary levels are the hardcore. So they're picking who's going to represent you, and then that already sways it that it's going to be to their side. They're not being fair and just and actually they're not actually doing the representative part they're supposed to represent, which is their constituents, which is their people that are in their district. They're not representing them. They're representing their party's ideology. Because I know all them Republicans out there that aren't rich. So yeah, they can give up some more money. I mean, we were talking 3, 4, 5% to get us out of the worst recession, which was basically a depression that got, they stopped the depression part, but they don't want to give them no credit for that. But the worst recession that we've had, I mean, it was almost a total collapse going on out there. Total collapse was going on. They didn't want to give up 2 or 3 more % of their money. They wanted to keep on and see how they turn it around, and where they're still making big bucks on the stock market and this and that, and corporations have money sitting in the coffers, waiting to see which way things are going. Ain't nothing going, and then the guys that are keeping it all screwed up with these nice little Republican guys supposed to be about money and about economy, they're keeping everything tied up. They know just let it flow a while, then they can come back in after we get to rolling and going. But they don't want us rolling and going. They want us to think that the reason everything's bad is because of Obama and the Democrats, and it's not because of both of them, but mainly because Republicans are saying no to everything, or not coming up with any bipartisan effort. You know, so you think about this stupid stuff the folks is doing around here. But anyway, I'm trying to keep up with a time schedule here, and I lost track of which way or how it's going and what I'm talking about. But I was reading this book, and I was reading the preface, and they were telling us about terrorism and how today we try to blame just on the Muslims, but there's terrorism going on here in this country if you think about it. You know, all these foreclosures and stuff, that was a terroristic act. It was a financial terrorism that was going on, perpetuated by our banks. Then when things were falling apart and everything looked shaky and stuff like that, they were toxic assets. They didn't know what to do with it. Rather than the government coming in and just shutting and freezing everything down, freeze, hold on for a minute. Somebody made a mistake up the road there, and we're not going to chastise everybody, and everybody's going to come out as halfway decent. Halfway decent. But no, we didn't want to do that. We want to let all these people get foreclosed on. They had them little robo signings going on, man. They were foreclosed on millions of houses a year, throwing people out. The economy went so bad, and people were stretched to their limit. They were just barely making the payments as it was going on. They lost their job. They couldn't make a payment on nothing. And you chastised them, not for something they did wrong. They were trying to go by your system. They were going to work, doing everything they were supposed to do, and the rug got pulled off from underneath them. And what they do, they turn around and took care of the big fat guy, you know, the guy that was all right. He's doing all right again, but he can't let that come down, you know. And I'm not blaming on all, I'm not degrading all the rich people, but I mean, there's a group out there talking about giving half their money away. Well, don't wait till you die to give half your money away. Give half of it away today. And start a private foundation to help as many people as you can with that other part of the money, and let them have some control over it, not you control which way it goes. You're gonna lose a lot, but you're gonna get it back, because the way the system's set up, you guys at the top always get it back. At the point in time it's going now, I heard one point in time there, y'all were getting 80% of the pot going on out there. 80% of everything moves ends up back in your hands. 20% is left down at the bottom for them to fight over. You know? So you're already getting a major share. That's part of my 50-50. 50% stays at the bottom, 50% can keep on. Well, we got to get to the middle. We got 50-50 this situation because we're a 50-50 country. Believe it or not, half of y'all believe the Republican way is the way to go, and half of you believe the Democratic way is to go. And then there's another bunch of you out there more than that, more than them two halves together, don't care one way or the other, because they're not even voting, they're not even registered, they're not even letting their voice be heard, because their voice can't be heard because of the way you set the system up with your two-party system.